everybody? So exciting new review for you guys there, talking about the new Rob Zombie film, 3 from Hell. 3 from Hell is the third installment in the series. First you had House of a Thousand Corpses, then The Devil's Rejects. Rob Zombie's films I feel like can be very divisive. You either love or hate a lot of his work. While I haven't enjoyed every single one of his films, I personally love The Devil's Rejects. I think personally that's his best film to date. So I was really curious to see where this story would go. I'm just very surprised that this film was being made because it's been 14 years since The Devil's Rejects came out. And not only that, but I never expected to get another one of these films based on how that film ended, because I figured there is no possible way that they survived that shootout. But here we are, 3 from Hell, and we get the continuation of that story. I'm going to try and keep this spoiler free as possible because not a lot of details about the film and its plot have really been leaked out to the public yet. But you got 2 more nights other than tonight to check out the film while it's in theaters at the Fathom event. So you got 2 more days to check out the film in theaters. I don't know when it comes out as far as streaming, Blu-ray, and all that. Easily the best part of the film, though, is its cast, especially Bill Moseley. He excellently returns to the role of Otis, perfectly blending that humor and his crazy tendencies once again. I actually found myself really liking the introduction of Richard Brake's character as well, because he seems like such a perfect fit into this group of characters. He's just as wacky and crazy. It almost makes me wish he was in the previous entry so we could get more of his character, but the screen time he's given in 3 from Hell is phenomenal. He's definitely one of my favorite performances of the whole film. The only one that was kind of mixed for me was Sheri Moon Zombie, because she actually is really good in some scenes in the film. It's just some other times she goes a little bit too overboard the material that she's given. So it's kind of just a mixed performance. She didn't give a bad portrayal at all. I like the character of Baby Firefly. It's just, in this movie, I think she just goes a little bit too off the deep end, and you'll see why in the story. It makes sense kind of in the story. In the segments that was just solely focused on her and her just hamming it up on screen, it just really wasn't for me, and I wanted to get back to the other storylines. Unfortunately, if you're going into this film expecting a lot of Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, you're going to be really disappointed. I know I was at least a little bit, even though I kind of figured, based on the promotional material, he wasn't going to be in it too much. He has a really great monologue. The dialogue he's given is solid. It's just, he's not a big integral part of the movie as opposed to like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. His part is much more minor as far as in the grand scheme of this film. The main storyline of the film is fairly simple. It's actually very similar in its style, structure, and execution to The Devil's Rejects. As I was watching the film, I actually at some points kind of got deja vu and how things are playing out and the way the story beats hit everything. And this is very similar in a lot of ways to The Devil's Rejects, just with different characters and just different settings. It felt just a little bit tamer to me than The Devil's Rejects, but that's not to say there still isn't a lot of blood, sex, violence, and gore in this film that's going to satisfy any horror fan. It was just, the only things that really bothered me is the stuff like the CGI blood, because there's a fair amount of CGI blood going on, but there also is a fair amount of practical effects used as well, and those are top-notch. It's just something about CGI blood that you can kind of just tell on the screen when it's big CGI blood, and, you know, it doesn't get on the clothes, and it just doesn't look real, and it's just stuff like that really bothers me in a lot of horror films. It just feels like a lazy alternative half the time. One of my favorite things about Rob Zombie is his music choices for his scenes. There's nothing as epic as the Freebird moment at the end of Devil's Rejects, but there are a couple moments in this film that I actually really love the musical choice. I think my favorite is this action scene that's set to Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly. Just hearing that song as this cool action set piece is going on, sometimes in slow-mo, was really awesome and really badass, and even when the lyrics weren't going on, you actually heard it in the background as other stuff was going on, and that was like probably my favorite little bit with the music choice. But there are a fair amount of other more obscure ones because Rob Zombie does have quite an interesting taste in music. Love the guy's music, and I love his musical choices, so that's always one of the things I look forward to. And also just a little love letters to different horror films he likes in the past, because he likes a lot of old school horror films, so you see a lot of stuff from Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney Jr. in the background. One of the things I do really feel like this film was lacking was a lack of antagonist, because William Forsythe was like an excellent choice as the antagonist for The Devil's Rejects, and there's really just no real physical threat that's chasing these 3 characters throughout the film. There's like a little bit of antagonist towards the latter half of the film, but even then there's really not too much tension and it gets wrapped up pretty quickly. The ending did leave me wanting more. I will admit, if they make another one of these films, I would definitely totally go see it because I had a fun time with 3 from Hell. I'm not sure if it's as powerful as ending as The Devil's Rejects ending, because that ending was just great. Hopefully if they make another one of these, that we don't get, we get another one in less than 14 years. We'll see how that goes. If Rob Zombie has another idea for another one of these films, or if he wants to make another one, I'm down, because I really enjoyed this film. But now that you've heard my thoughts on 3 from Hell, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below. What did you think of the film if you've seen it? Because it's only in theaters for 3 days, so you're already a third of the way through its theatrical run. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like this more than Devil's Rejects? How would you rank rank these films as far as House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. Personally, I think The Devil's Rejects still is number one, and then probably this film, and then House of a Thousand Corpses. But I still enjoy them for the most part. I think Rob Zombie has a great trilogy going on, I guess. If they want to make it a quadrilogy, I'd be down. But make sure you can leave your comments in the comment section down below, like I said, because you know I like talking about all things movies here with you guys. But thanks so much for checking out our review for the film. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like. Hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with my movie reviews, channel reactions, unboxings, and more. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.